race fans, sim fans, RC fans, 393 here again today. Look what we're back on. So we've got the Schumacher 112 pan car, the Eclipse 4 Pro LMP chassis. Not much has happened. It's one of those ongoing projects which I haven't actually stepped over that border and put the electrics in. I've not. There's two reasons, like I've said before. One is, and probably in my opinion the most important, is time. I need a bit of time to sit down and concentrate on what I'm doing. But the other one is, it's not so much knowledge, because I've put electrics in cars before, but it's just, this one needs to be done right, because this is the first brushless setup I'm going to do with LiPo. And I just need time to work out how to do certain things. I've got to sit down and do one bit at a time, like mount the motor would be a good one. I don't think I've got the screws to mount that to the chassis. I don't know. They might even be in the kit. I'm not sure I've got the right pinion on there. They're generally quite large pinions compared to the sort of the pinions you'd normally expect to see, because they've got a lot of torque, they're very light, etc. So yeah, so we're still kind of in this limbo stage. However, I have got. I've got something in there which I'm going to open. I wouldn't necessarily say this is cutting edge, to be quite honest with you, and I don't really know. I'm hoping it's going to be different. So Schumacher literally just brought out the damping rod, which is version 2 for this kit, and the icon. Now apparently, so that I've read, the only thing that's changed, and you could be arguing, why you're doing it, but because I want to is the answer to that one. They've made it is ever so slightly lighter. We'll try that, and we'll take the one out of the car, and the bore inside is larger, so what they're saying is apparently it will take less maintenance if you're racing to keep it in its tip-top sort of operating area, where the one in the kit is a smaller diameter, apparently smaller holes. I'll have a check in a minute when we take it off. So technically holds less grease, less oil, and this one is sort of less. You haven't got to maintain it as much, so you get longer periods where you're not touching it. So it's probably, in retrospect, not necessary in my respect, but it was cheap. It is an upgrade, and I'm getting all the upgrades that I feel I can for this car, because it's just one of those max it out type of projects. So we'll have a look inside the kit now. We're going to take the body off, take the damper rod off. I believe it just unclips, which is fairly straightforward, and we'll get it out and I'll show you kind of what the difference is, if you can see it. I'm hoping that it'll be noticeable to see. So let me just take the body off, and we'll get on to damping shaft out. This is really, never get these mixed up, and I'll show you why. Well, I don't know if I better show you. I'm not sure about my massive fat fingers won't probably. I'm going to just lightly grip that. So that's the one that came off the car, right? So you ain't gonna be able to tell me anything on that. All I can do is explain that I can tell you that the hole that goes down the end, like the bore, is well, I can see it, but I wouldn't say it's anything worth noting. But that's the one that came off the car. Oh, and the holes that go in there as well. I'll take this one off. It's very lightly grip it. And the bore, I don't know if I might better show you actually. It is so minimal, but it must be. It must work. So I don't know if you can see that. I don't know if you can't see that. I don't know what to do because I can't see the camera from right, as in what you can see. Can you see that? I hope you can. Well, that's the one that came off the car. I'm hoping it's in focus and you can see the bore. And this is the one that I'm putting on the car. Hopefully you'll notice something. I should have a light or something behind me. I'll move back a bit. Can you see that? I'm hoping you can. If you can't, this whole 30 seconds is a waste of exercise of showing you, but believe me, the board down the centre is larger on this one, and also the holes that are on the side there. There's 3, 2, and 3 on there. They're also larger diameter, or the bore is actually larger. So that's it. I'm going to put the there's a threaded bar to go back in. I believe from memory it goes on. It's this way. So they're interesting. The difference between this one, so this is the new one, the threaded bar on the new one goes all the way in, and on this one it sort of goes up to a stop. So I've got to get in there, so I'm going to measure that. So I haven't got the. So that is 11 or 12 mil. I can see that on my measuring pad. So I've got that up to there, and it just goes over that. I'm not sure that's a good thing. Hopefully it won't come loose. It should surely. I think there's a bigger bore. It can just go inside. So it's about there. It's about there. That's the new one. It's about the similar thing. Maybe I should use Loctite or something, but because the difficulty now, actually, that's not going to work either. Doing it that way around. So trying to put that on, it goes in. It goes into the damper insert, if you like, really easy, but it doesn't screw onto the ball knuckle, the cup, very easily at all. It's very tight, in fact. So I'm going to have to put that in a bit more. So I don't want to damage the thread on that. So I'm just going to use some of those. Just pad that out and sure how far in that should go. It shouldn't go too far because I think that's about it. That's just bottomed out. So I've put that in the end first because on the one that the stock part, this bottoms out in there. So it must be the bore size just meets the bottom of this. But when you put it in the new one, this is the new one, it just screws right in and falls through. So I believe this goes on and gets nipped up like so. So that will go back in. I need to get some grease now, and I'll put it back together. Damp in there, the oil, silicone. It's actually oil. You know, you can see it works really well. So we're going to stick that back on the car. We'll stick it back on the car and go from there, really. There's one other thing, or a couple of things I'm going to show you, but let's get this back on first. Let's get this back on and installed. It's to do with the rear suspension. It's more so to do with this bit here, because that moves the damper. If I can move that sideways, sort of the back subframe dampens like this. It's got the spring there as well, which is also tunable. I've got different springs, so it depends on what sort of track you're on. And then it does this as well, like this part. That's purely, it's pivoting on the ball joints, and the springs which you put underneath here, they're also tunable. So there's standard springs in at the moment, so I haven't changed anything. The only update I've done there is the damping rod. Now, what I also need to do here, I've just noticed there's a little bit of grease. It goes everywhere, that stuff. It goes in your hands and it goes absolutely everywhere. Right, so that's that installed. Now I did say, I don't know if I've got an opinion. I have got an opinion. I didn't realise I forgot I had that. So I've got this one here. So that can go on the motor. 45 tooth. It's a hardened pinion. So it is quite large in respect of the sort of scale of the car, which is what I was talking about earlier on. So that can go on the motor. So I just need to perhaps check my box of stuff and see. I mean, 'cause it doesn't come with a motor, so I'm just wondering, does the motor come with screws or not? I don't know. I'd have to check that out. I'll have to read up on that one. But that'll be the next stage, possibly. The one after that, or the one that's very close to that, you're probably wondering, if you're not, then I'm going to tell you, but you might be wondering, what colour is this car going to be? And I thought to myself, I've been thinking about it for a while, and I want something that's quite iconic. I'm very much a retro type of person. I do like retro racing. The old days are always best. And I'm going to move some, I've got some paints here. So, 2 colours. I haven't got any decals yet for these specific colours. I'm still looking for those. But it's 2 colours. It's quite iconic for this type of racing. I wouldn't say this car particularly, but this type of racing back in the day. We had it's quite an iconic. In fact, I think McLaren did a special colour tribute last season. So we're going to be doing this. Hopefully you can see those. To be doing the Golf racing colours, which is sort of I think the blue might be a little bit dark. It's not quite as light as what I think, but the blue and that racy kind of orange colour, Golf racing, which is, there's a lot of cars, race cars, which adopt that colour scheme. So I need to sort of check some real life pictures, mask this up accordingly so it looks, so it's predominantly blue, and it will have sort of the orange racing stripe. I think it goes, I haven't got it to hand now, but I think it goes up sort of the bonnet, down the bonnet, along the front and around the sides. And I might add something to the rear wing myself. I don't know. I'll have to see what the cars in the day look like. You can kind of adapt the sort of where the lines go on the car, depending on, in this case, what shape you have. So that's the plan anyway. So we're going to probably have a look at installing the motor, putting the pinion on, painting the body shell. We can then think about the speed controller. That'd be about it then, wouldn't it? So, and it's just the wiring of those. I don't know if they need to be soldered or they're just push fit. I don't know. So that's the plan. So for the next, I don't know what part this is. I'm not going to give up on that now, but this is the next stage. So we've installed the damper, the upgraded damper, which is bigger bore and bigger holes, holds more silicone oil, silicone grease, whatever you want to call it. Apparently it's more reliable, takes less maintenance. And it also, I suppose, what Schumacher have said, it is a bit lighter, but if it carries more silicone oil, maybe that will balance it out. I mean, it is made of a metal, so there's going to be some weight saving there. I don't think you're going to notice it, to be honest. Yeah, so we've done that. The motor installation will probably be very soon, the electric motor, and then we'll go through the masking of the body shell and getting that painted and put on the car, and then we'll probably cut the posts down, because once I've painted it, that'll be its final probably seating position once I'm happy with that. And then it'll be just the other two, or the electrics, and the ESC that'll go in, that needs to be programmed. I need to buy a lipo, and then we might even get this thing alive. So anyway, I hope you enjoy this journey. It is a bit slow, I do apologise, but other things and life and other projects get in the way. But I hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to speaking to you next time, and thank you for paying attention to my videos, and bye for now.